Pastor Alyce here, friends. I'm with you today thinking about two young men who over the past 2 weeks shattered the lives of people in Georgia and in Colorado with two more back-to-back random and senseless acts of violence. All of us are challenged by these events with resisting succumbing to fear as we realize once again that no place is safe. Not schools, churches, nor even the grocery store. As we realize once again that no place is safe, we shake our heads in dismay, disbelief, and horror, not comprehending how or why this seems to be an enduring reality in our country that is so blessed in so many ways and yet so cursed by repeated explosive episodes of hate, fear, and gun violence. And so, as I read Psalm 46 and 57 this morning, and they are the morning and evening Psalms we're praying over in this season of Lent, I sought and found meaning and comfort in them. Let me share with you what I mean. The context for both these two Psalms are writers extolling God as the only really reliable and secure source and provider of sanctuary and safety from turmoil, conflict, and strife. The truth is, this thin veneer over chaos that we called a civilized society gives us a false sense of security, and it is shaken by each senseless tragedy. We put our trust in laws, police, security systems, safe rooms, storm shelters, insurance policies, peace treaties, walls, fences, sturdy construction, reasonable precautions, risk analysis, personal protection and equipment, including seat belts, face masks, weapons, armor, healthy eating habits, medical and other technologies, and yet we still don't feel safe. And often we are not safe, despite all these ways and means intended to protect us from all harm. All it takes is being in the wrong place at the wrong time for calamity to strike, and nothing and no one can predict that moment for us. As I read and meditated upon these Psalms, I realized our present day reality is no different than it's ever been. Humankind has always lived with danger of one kind or another. The world is a dangerous place, and the forces of evil's chief weapons used against us are fear and hate. The more we lean into and give into fear and hate, the more dangerous our world becomes, and the more unsettled, anxious, and fearful we become. This is the way Satan steals our joy and our peace. I want you to reread these two Psalms and pay attention to these few words from Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth give way, and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, and the mountains quake with their surging. We will not fear. Listen to what God says to mayhem of all kinds. Be still and know that I am God. The psalmist reminds us not to fear no matter what. Secondly, God speaks and says, be still and know that I am God. We are not God, and there is so much beyond our control that we can be emotionally and spiritually overwhelmed by fear. Mark 4:35-4 tells us, the disciples were in a boat on the Sea of Galilee with Jesus, and the waves and winds were raging. Jesus was asleep. While the disciples were trembling with fear, they awakened Jesus and chastised him for not caring whether they lived or died. What did Jesus do? He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, Be still. Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. Then he said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" God is still saying these same words to us today in the midst of whatever storm or danger threatens. Most of our fears are petty fretting and worries over little or nothing, and the probability is our imagined calamities will never come to pass. And if our worst fears are realized, what then? What else are we to do but to run to Jesus and live? What else are we to do but to give our fears to the one who rebukes the wind and sea, and to place our hope and trust in the one who will not only see us through the calamities of this life, but who will also be our refuge and strength through all eternity? We are not in control. Be still and know, though, that God is. So fear not. Laugh at the days to come. Run to Jesus, friends, and live.